welcome to MMC learning platform. Thank you so much for following us. I want you to subscribe, turn on the bells, and also make sure you get the best out of our presentation. Yesterday we looked at the element of construct number 1 in the CBC new curriculum, and today I want us to look at element of construct number 2, that is patterns and algebra. Number 1 was numbers, then this one is patterns and algebra. And straight away we have been tasked with an item here. Musa bought 25 textbooks and 35 exercise books at Uganda shillings 135,000 from Kampala Modern Styles Bookshop. From the bookshop, Menya bought 21 textbooks and 38 exercise books and spent Uganda shillings 13,000 less than Musa's expenditure. In Mukono bookshop, the cost of a textbook is 5% less, and that of an exercise book is 5% more in Kampala Modern Styles Bookshop. Menya still bought the same number of textbooks and exercise books, and even Musa from Mukono bookshop. Thus, as a senior 4 learner, help Musa and Menya find out the price of an exercise book and a textbook in Kampala Modern Styles Bookshop. B. Which bookshop would you advise Musa and Menya to buy and why? Our dear viewers, here is the task of item 2 in our CBC new curriculum, UCE items. So, according to our item, we are tasked to find, number 1, we have to summarize and get the cost of each textbook. According to this, which let us summarize it. Summarize. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. So, our task, step number 1, we are supposed to that's what we call, we are supposed to define the unknowns we are going to use. You say, let the price, let each textbook cost X shillings and each exercise book cost Y shillings. Okay, according to our item, we have been told that Musa bought 25 textbooks. Let me, Okay, here's the item. It says Musa bought 25 textbooks. 25 textbooks. So let's start with Musa. So 25 textbooks. If one textbook costs X shillings, then 25 textbooks will cost 25 times X plus 35 exercise books. If one exercise book costs Y shillings, then 35 exercise books will cost 35 times y, and giving us a total expenditure of 135 shillings. Okay, so we can call this equation 1 for Musa. Then they are telling us that his friend Menya, this is Menya, Menya bought how many books? Let me see. Menya bought 21 textbooks. So that is 21 times x plus and 38 exercise books. So y exercise books is 38 times y, spending a total cost of 13,000 less. In other words, to get his cost, we shall say 135,000 minus 13,000. Okay, so this will give us we can write that equation in the form 21x plus 38y is equal to 122,000. Can call this equation 2. Okay, so now we have come up with simultaneous equations. So now we can apply any method of solving simultaneous equation. Hope you have knowledge of simultaneous equation solving. In this case, we can use elimination method because it is easier. So what we can do, we can write these equations together. We have 25x plus 35y giving us 135,000. Then 21x plus 38y giving us 122,000. So we can use elimination method. How do we eliminate? We shall interchange the coefficients of x if we want to eliminate x. So we say we multiply this by 21, then this by 25. So from there, we shall come up with this is 21 times that is 525y plus what is this? 21 times that is 735 y is equal to 2,835,000. Okay. Then 25 times 21, that is 525y plus 25 times 38, that is 950. 950 x giving us 3 million. This is 50,000. Okay. I hope you can now see how our elimination is coming out. We now have similar terms that we can easily. Okay. Okay. So now, yes? So now, when we subtract this and that, we shall come up with that. So this minus that, we shall come up with 215y, giving us 215,000. So when you divide both sides by 215, we shall come up with our y as 1,000 shillings. Okay, that's our y. So to get x, we just substitute in one of the equations. So we can consider this 25x plus 35 into y, which is 1,000, will give us 135,000. So this gives us 25x plus 35,000, which is equal to 135,000. So 25x will give us, when you subtract this minus that, we shall come up with 100,000. Good. Then finally x will give us 4,000 shillings. Okay. So what is our task saying? Our task, remember, make sure you always refer to the task for proper response. So it says, as a senior 4 student, help Musa and Menya to find out the price of an exercise book and the textbook in Kampala Modern Skies Bookshop. So you can conclude and say, the new curriculum will respond in a full sentence. So you can say, therefore, the cost, because they want, as a senior, to find out the price of an exercise book. Okay, therefore, the price of an exercise book is the price of an exercise book is 1,000 shillings. And that of a textbook is 4,000 shillings. Okay, so this is the price of the textbook is 4,000 shillings. That is in Kampala Modern Skies Bookshop. Okay, our dear viewers, that is the response to our task number 1. Part A. So straight away, we shall go to part B, which says, which bookshop would you advise Musa and Menya to buy from and why? Okay, so please, we will go for number 2. I hope we are following. Don't forget to subscribe and follow. Okay, so our task number 2, it says in Mukono, the cost of, in Mukono bookshop, the cost of a textbook is 5% less. So let us find the cost in Mukono. Mukono bookshop, the cost of a textbook is 5% less than that of an exercise book. So, remember, in Kampala, we should not forget that in Kampala bookshop, an exercise book is 1,000 shillings, whereas that of a textbook is 4,000 shillings. But they are telling us that in Mukono, a textbook is 5% less. So, what does that mean? It means out of 100 minus 5, this gives us 95%. So, the cost of the textbook will be 95% times 4,000. Our dear listeners, and that gives us 3,800 shillings. Then, the cost of an exercise book, they have told us that it is 5% more. Okay? 5% more. Now that's original is 100% plus 5, giving us 105%. So now this gives us 105% times the 1,000. So this giving us how much? 1,050 shillings. 1,050 shillings. Okay, so that's the cost of the textbook in Mukono, 3,800, and then exercise book, 1,050. So now, according to our task, they want us to find which bookshop would you advise Musa and Menya to buy from. In other words, we shall first find the total expenditure on these textbooks in Mukono. Then we shall also we shall compare with that of Kampala. Okay, so next step is to find Musa's expenditure. Musa's expenditure. We shall get one of the other equations. Equation 1, which is 25x plus 35y, giving us, so we shall substitute and see what we shall come up with. So 25x, that is 25 times, what is x? X is now the textbook, which is now this one here, 3,800 plus 35y, which is an exercise book, giving us 1,050. So when you multiply that and that, we come up with, this is 95,000 plus, this is 36,750. So when you add this and that, we shall come up with 131,750. Right, dear viewers. So we can now find That is Musa's expenditure. So Menya's expenditure will be 25 times. Okay, Menya's expenditure, we shall use the other equation of 21x plus 38y, because we have been told that they bought the same quantities in Mukono, just like they did in Kampala. So 21 times x, that is 21 into our x, which is 3,800, plus 38 times y, which is 1,050. This gives us 79,800 plus 39,900, giving us 119,700 shillings. So we can see Musa's expenditure is 131,750 in Mukono, whereas Menya's expenditure is 119,700 in Mukono. So the task is saying, which bookshop would you advise Menya and Musa to buy from? Ladies and gentlemen, it goes without saying that the cost of the total expenditure of Menya being 131 in Mukono. Remember, in Kampala, his total expenditure was 135,000. So now, to determine which one, it goes without saying that people will always go for cheaper amounts or total expenditures. So now, according to this, I will give an advice to Musa. That is okay. So, according to this expenditures, we shall say, therefore, I advise Musa and Menya to buy from Mukono bookshop. Okay? Reason, since they will be left with the balance of their expenditure. Then we have Musa remains with 135,000 minus 131,750. That gives us a difference of 3,250. 3,250. Okay. Whereas Menya remains with Menya was 122,000 minus 119,700. We'll be left with 2,300 shillings. Okay, our dear viewers, that is our item and the response for this. I want to thank you so much for following us. Please subscribe and please turn on the notification bell and follow us for more and more details in this. By the end of this session, you shall have the best and excellent performance to get the best engineers and best quality students by the end of it all. I want to thank you so much. God bless you. Shalom.